Okay, we are live. I guess we are live. It's showtime. Hello, guys. Good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to make sure we are live. Let's be sure we are live. Okay, guys. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we are live. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. You're welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. If you just see me for the first time, thank you and welcome. I'm a Nigerian who lives here in South Africa with my family. And I make various contents. Guys, ignore the backdrop, okay? Okay. So I'm a Nigerian. I live here in South Africa with my family and I make various contents. Hope is anyone on the live section? Has anyone joined? Say hello, hello. Say hello. Thank you everyone for joining. Hi and welcome. And welcome. Hello. How are you? Thank you so much, TM. I guess you didn't add a name to your. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so yes, in today's video, it's kind of a continuation of the past two videos I've made. Okay, the first video I made, the past two videos I made was when South Africans had finally find you live. Thank you so much. Yes, good to have you here. I don't come live often. I just come live randomly once in a while. I'm supposed to post a video today, but I didn't meet up with my editing. So I said, why not? Let's just jump in live. Good day, my dear sister. Good day, Palesa. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you everyone for joining. Everyone that will see this video later. And yeah, thank you everyone. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. So guys, here in South Africa, will I say it's been good in the past few weeks. For me, I don't feel the tension. South Africans have confirmed to me that there has been no tension so far, being that the elections were just concluded last week, and yeah, and we are here today. Okay, yeah. So I want to talk about how the part of the things I talked about already in my past two videos, which is how South African election, happens as opposed Nigerian election. So Nigeria, we also are a democratic, society, so to say, as like just like most African countries, I would say so. But apparently, I've noticed that from this election, actually, I've been living in South Africa for say 12 years, and this election actually made me to understand a more things about South Africa and their political system and elections that maybe I've not been interested in the past years that much, or nothing has really caught my attention or my eyes. But man, this time around, I got to know something very, very intriguing when I'm intrigued and amazed, I don't hide my feelings. I always say it, how these elections play out, for the fact that South Africans have what they call special votes. Guys, that's what is being called, right? Special votes, which first of all, I heard it over the radio when people were still registered, and I just heard, oh, so and so South Africans in diaspora has voted, has registered to vote. I'm like, come again. So they said they were like discussing. I'm like, are you for real? So I went to research again. Say I saw, like, do South Africans in diaspora vote? I noticed that a lot of like South Africans in diaspora actually vote. I made that video. Then I'm like, are you for real? Seriously? So fast forward up until the election that happened in diaspora. Was it 2 weeks ago, right? People in the UK and America and different parts of the world actually voted, which I made that video, and I was very amazed. Okay, then fast forward to when we here in South Africa had our own. We like say our, I didn't vote, but let me just say our. Let me include myself, like for the mere fact that I live here. So let me just, when I say our, you guys should not say, you're not South African. I know I'm not South African and I did not vote. But people in South Africa, like home base South Africans voted. And again, somebody also brought to my notice that, oh, okay, Olivia, so today the old people are voting, and another person said, oh, people in the prisons and people, people that are indisposed to vote, maybe I think old people are voting, people in the correctional facilities are voting, people that are sick, or I think special people that will be working on that, they say journalists and all whatnot, are voting on that two stipulated days that we have mapped out for that. Oh my god, that was the highlight for me, actually. So that's why I'm here. Let me say hi to everyone. Hi, Palesa. Hi, everyone that is listening. So, guys, we've been having this conversation on the comment section. My comment sections are very, very interesting, and people like South Africans are very, I would say they are very patient in the way that they want, if they want to give you an information, you get that information, trust me, because the way they write in details and explain to you. A lot of people explain to me how the system works, but that's not, that's for maybe another video or something like that. But a lot of people have explained different things to me on the comment section. So guys, are you here? I hope you're here. And I'm like, okay. A lot of people we are saying, could other African countries make it a compulsory thing for this special vote? Because I find it very intriguing, for the fact that South Africans have reiterated the point that, oh, Olivia, we've been doing this since I think 1994. This special vote has been going on. It's very, very intriguing, and I want to bring it to I want to say, why can't Nigeria and other African countries, why can't we be like South Africa? Is there anything that is actually stopping a country like Nigeria? Nigeria is a very big country. Nigeria is a country that, trust me, if they want something to work, it will work. Okay. If Nigeria wants if it's not happening, that means that some people that are benefiting from it, there are some people that are actually kicking against it. I'm sure that such a thing, they are aware, or Nigeria, I'm sure the government knows about this special vote that South Africa has, and I know that it's going to actually impact so much on the elections, being that a lot of Nigerians are in diaspora. Other African countries like Zimbabwe, Ghana, and other African countries, a lot of them also live in diaspora. I think Kenyans do that. Somebody said on the comment section, tell me on the comment section if I'm correct. They said Kenyans have already started adopting this South African pattern of, having a special vote for diasporans and other people that need it. So Kenyans are part, but other African countries, what is stopping us from adopting this? I don't know. You guys should tell me. Is it that if we do it, a country like Nigeria, obviously, is going to impact on the elections, and I believe, or I think, it's going to impact positively, because we that are not in Nigeria will have a say. We know that we observe the political arena or terrain from wherever we are. We know people that, okay, if this person is in power, I think he will do this and do this. So I feel that inclusivity is very important. Guys, tell me on the comment section. Please interact. Tell me what. I think the problem is funding for IEC. Yeah, okay. That could be one, but I don't know. I don't know if a country like, see, we bring out budgets, if you're conversant with, let me say, Nigeria, because that's what I know particularly from every other African country. If you're conversant with our political system, if you see how much billions and trillions they map out, budget for irrelevant things. So I feel as though if a country like Nigeria wants to channel, energy or channel money into this politics, making sure that all the Nigerians in diaspora or wherever, and special votes generally goes on, I think they can do it. Funding may be a problem, yeah, but Nigeria is not as broke as the government and those in politics make it look like. Funding may be a problem here and there, but if they have an interest to do that, I think they will do it. So yeah. TM says it's Tabo. Oh, Tabo, okay. Why did you change your name? This TM8626, I don't know. It's not a name. So welcome. Yes, of course. I know you. I know you. India in okay, he says Indians voted for 2 weeks, so it can be done. Oh, okay. So Indians, do they adopt this system also? Do they have the special votes of a system? I don't know. I'm not aware of that. You can imagine a country like India. That see, if there's any country that they have their nationals all over the world is India. India and China. They travel, Pakistan, they travel a lot. They travel more than Nigerians. They travel a lot. So, and of course, the population is I think India is number two in the world. Correct me on the comment section, either number two or number three, and Pakistan. Those are very populated countries. So if they're able to pull this, I mean, Nigeria can do it. And other African countries like Zimbabwe nationals also travel a lot. Ghanaians also travel a lot. I'm talking about countries that we know that have a lot of migrants, that it will really benefit all their migrants. It will benefit a lot of African migrants if what South Africa is doing is amazing. Honestly, South Africa is actually a premium African country, if I can say so myself. Because I mean, if you see how organized they do things, and I'm like, wow, oh my God, as things are like unfold for me every day. As much as there are some things that you'd be like, oh, okay, but when they want to really organize things and do things, look at the election. It was very amazing how you see, like KZN. Oh, this party, they brought out the result over 5 days, over 5 good days, and transparency things. People we are seeing, seeing the parties that we are winning in different provinces. Oh, honestly, something is something I commend. It's something to write home about. People think I'm a madman because of my so I get annoyed sometimes when I is it Tabo? How can Tabo sound mad? No, no, I don't think so. Do you understand? So I feel as though that South Africa, what South Africa is doing is very, very commendable. Nigeria can do it if they want to. I don't know what is it. It's part of the corruption, I would say so, because if you want to run a free and fair election, only one person in the comment section came and said, "Oh, South African election was not free and fair; they were corrupt." But a lot of people that commented were like, "Oh my God, the atmosphere was cool. We enjoy it. We are usually not tense. The elections are free and fair. This is what we have all year." It may not be perfect 100%, but I will say that South African election and their electoral system is called IEC, Independent Electoral Commission or something. Our own is called INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission. That's what we call it in Nigeria. South Africa call it IEC. I feel as though the IEC have been doing a good job. Oh my God, you guys should tell them that Olivia, somebody said, I know, of course, they know they've been doing a pretty good job. So I plead that, I mean, we Nigerians want to have something similar, at least, even if it's not what you guys have here in South Africa. We may not get here in the next few years, but let's have something pretty decent when it comes to election. South African election really taught me. I was like, oh my God, are these guys having election? Everywhere just chill. People are just chill. Atmosphere is just cool, calm, happy. That's why I mentioned that on my video, that I didn't notice tension. There was no tension for me, because I know that when my dear Nigerian, my dear beloved Nigerian, when we are having our own election, oh my God, somebody even on the comment section in South Africa, he said that when he was in Nigeria, I think a year before the election, that the tension was even there. I mean, if you're in Nigeria, you can comment, you can, reiterate my point. We are usually very tense. Oh my God, how is the election going to play out? Oh my God, we have a lot of concerns. We have concerns of a transparency. We have concerns of, okay, how is the vote going to play out? We have concerns of, is my vote going to count? We have concerns of, okay, safety. I hope we are safe. I don't think it's something that should My mom will always say that when you see she will always advise us, when you see somebody, a brother or whoever or a friend or a relative that is doing something good, try and emulate them. So that's something we can do also as Nigerian, as other African countries that are not yet practicing those kind of political or electoral system. I think we should emulate from South Africa. Nigeria is aware of this system. Yes, of course, of course, of course. Sir Jonathan Goodluck is a friend of ANC. He attends most events hosted by ANC. Are you serious? No, see, good luck, Jonathan. That's one thing I was discussing with my husband the other day. He was like, good luck, Jonathan is one governor that one president that people like. He didn't push. He was not. He didn't do anything for like anything shady during his time, especially when it comes to re-election, because he was meant to. He served 4 years and he was meant to be re-elected, and he wasn't re-elected. Okay, normally an incumbent, it's very difficult for an incumbent president to be voted out. Nigeria is not America. Because when you have the power of incumbency, it's in Nigeria, it's difficult for a non-ruling, for you to be an incumbent president and you're just kicked out like that, just the way it happened. They kicked Goodluck Jonathan. I think he was pretty much fair. Your accent fascinates me. You remind me of my friend Adekunle back in high school. Oh my God, Mpo. Of course, this is Nigerian accent. That's the only accent I know. I don't I can't speak like South Africans, even if I live here all my life, which I won't obviously. But even if I can't, it's just like my kids now, the way they speak. I live in the house with them. I gave birth to them, but they don't speak like me. You guys, have you heard them talk before? They appear or they feature in my vlogs once in a while. They talk very differently from me and my husband, because of course they were born here in South Africa and all their school age up until now has been here. So I think you form your accents during your school age, maybe primary, nursery, crèche, nursery, primary school, and all whatnot. I think if you pass secondary school, you can hardly have another accent. So anyway, I want to take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. So guys, that's actually what I want to say. Do you guys have any suggestion, or do you guys have anything you want to talk about this topic exactly, or do you have any reason why you think that other African countries are actually not emulating South Africa so much? Because there's a lot of things to be learned from you guys. I'll tell you the truth. Not because I live here, not because I live here, but I know that there's a lot of things that could be. Let me copy that could be emulated from South Africans. So I just want to put the link on the comment section. If anybody, this is StreamYard, you can come and contribute, say something. Yeah, whatever, anything you want to say can be. We can discuss about anything. So I feel as though this is actually my message. How many political parties do you guys have back in Nigeria? Yeah, it's just like South Africa. I don't know exactly how many political parties, but you know the ruling political parties. You know the political parties that are actually making waves, like PDP is there. Um, before this APC government, um, it was PDP that was the ruling political party. So it keeps changing. There's usually APC and PDP. PDP, I would say, is the main political parties like ANC, okay, PDP, but now it's APC. And there's also a Labour Party. There are also other political parties that, just like every other country, there are some political parties that will be there. They don't make really waves, but we know about PDP government. They are the main ones. I think in most African countries, people are not tolerant of each other and not so trusting of their government. Yes, the government, trust is end. Okay, you can't just trust somebody without them earning your trust. It's because our government as Nigerians have not earned our trust. They are doing things that are shady. It's just like the past election that we had in Nigeria. Most people know is that is not free and fair. Excuse me. Let me drink water. Sorry, excuse me. We all know that that election was not free and fair. There was a lot of anomaly. So when a government is not doing something that is free and fair, how are you supposed to trust that government? You can't trust a government that is not fair in their dealings with their citizens. A government that has the interests of the citizens at heart, you will know as well. I also hear that President Tinubu is doing well, pretty much well. He was a good governor when he built Lagos State. Okay, I can tell you for free, he did a lot of good things in Lagos State, but Nigerians wanted another president. But it happened that he had he became the president. He won the presidency. So I don't know if he won free and fair, but I know that there were some things that when something happens in this internet age, we see it. There are a lot of videos that people make in the polling stations and a lot of things that went wrong. Some people were asked, "Oh, you can't vote. You look like an Igbo man. You look like you look like a Yoruba man." A lot of things that we are not supposed to be done. Some things happen, but anyway. But I hear he's doing a little bit okay, but we still have our challenges. Let me just read some comments a little. How many? Okay. Compared to the federal government system in Nigeria and okay, compare the federal government system in Nigeria and the national government in South Africa. It's not you can't compare. Work with all, you can't compare because South Africa is way above Nigeria. With all due respect to Nigeria, I love Nigeria. It's my country. Nigeria is actually a very nice country, beautiful, warm people. As much as they have their own problems, and they are beautiful people, beautiful country and all that, but the systems are very different. Work with all, the systems are different. South Africa has a more structured system that work. Nigeria has a system, but most of the systems do not work, at least a good number of it. Some system, I would say, we have the federal system. We have three arms of government in Nigeria, which I don't know if that's the case. We have the federal system of government, state, and the local. So the federal is the highest. Then there are other sub-states and local. So you can't compare the federal system of government in Nigeria with the federal system of government in South Africa. You can't compare. You know, you can't. When I say you can't compare, that means South Africa is way above. Yeah, in that regard. Why are some Africans made that we didn't vote for Julius Malema? Mad that we didn't vote for Julius Malema. We voted for DA because they deliver good services. Mapuru, do you think DA actually you voted more for DA? I wouldn't say you voted more for DA. I I don't know. Julius Malema, I feel he's Pan-African. I don't know. That's what I feel. I like Julius Malema. I also like the ANC government, as much as the ANC government may have their own little flaws here and there, but I don't mind the ANC government, but I don't know why they should be mad. I know that the people were intentional about their vote, and whichever political party they voted, that's what they want to vote. That's the party they want to vote. They feel they will deliver. I know DA is a more of the white majority, but I feel as though as where South Africa is right now, an affiliation, or what's it called again, that will happen between the two parties, I think it won't be bad because that's what the people wanted. And like I always say, let the best party win. If Julius Malema was not voted for, then I mean that means the people did not want him at the time. So, but I know that he also got some votes in some provinces, like Northwest for one voted for Julius Malema very well. Those that voted here in Northwest, I think Julius Malema is popular. He's loved here, and he got some votes, right, guys? Am I communicating? So what should African nationals prioritize for the continent's future? Adopt Western norms or harness traditional practice for all beyond tribal distinction? What should African nationals prioritize for? I think it should be a hybrid. We should look at what the Westerners are doing, and if we feel as though that there are some practices of the Westerners that are okay for our continent as Africa, we should adopt it. It's not about, oh, because it's the practice of the Westerners. So long as that practice of the Westerners are working, we should adopt it, and we should also keep our Africanness, those unique things that make us Africans, those unique things that we are known for, our culture, our rich culture, our tradition, Africans are much more warm than other continents. Our warmness, our resilience as a people, I think we should also keep that. We should, so I don't think we should entirely, discard some Western practices that are good, because Westernization is innovation. Westernization brought about innovation into Africa. As much as Westernization, we can also we can also debate that there are some not two things that Westernization introduced to Africa, but they also introduced some good things: education, enlightenment, and innovation. That's what Westernization came with. They also came with some things that we don't want to talk about always, but yeah, let's keep those good things they brought to us, and also keep our Africanness. Tando, I don't know if I answered your question. What do you think? So, and another thing, our tribal distinctions. Yeah, there will always be distinctions. I keep telling people, as much as we want to say, oh, we are one, we are one. I agree. In our oneness, let us also understand our roots. Like I always tell people, yes, I make sure that my kids understand their roots. They understand that they are Nigerians first before any other. They also will also want to embrace things that happen in South Africa, because that's where they are. So I feel a hybrid is always a good way to go. Understand yourself, understand your uniqueness, keep things that make you unique, keep the things that you love about your tribe and your uniqueness, and also adopt other things that will help you. So in Nigeria, do they show the voting results on the national TV, or they count all the results before they show them on? They don't show it. That's lucky. They do not show it. It amazed me when I was seeing, like, they will just say, oh, in this state, PDP won. Okay, oh, in this state, a Labour Party won. How are we supposed to know? So when it comes to transparency, we as Nigerian, in our elections, we need to do better. I think transparency will help people trust the government more. Because if the government is doing something free and fair, we should know. No, SA does not have a FA does not have a federal system. Please explore this topic. Federal means each state has its own rules. Okay, I think I should let me take a screenshot. Okay, somebody's on the stage. Let's add. Hello.
Yeah. Hi,
Hello,
Olivia.
Taco. How are
Uh,
you? Good
I'm
to
good.
see you. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. How are you? You're cold. Let me just take a
I'm
screenshot.
fine. It's my first time on live.
Yeah, it's your first time catching us on live, right? I
Yeah.
don't always come live. I come just here and there, just not
Yeah.
always. What do
Yeah.
you have to say about the whole SA election? What is your take?
I think when it comes to the EFF, that
Yeah.
most people didn't vote for EFF, is because I think people are afraid, you know,
Okay.
of new things. I don't think it's because they hate EFF or anything like that. I feel like, new people in government, it's something scary.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I feel
people
like
are afraid of change. Is that what you think?
exactly. I think people think, yes, he does have well-educated friends, Julius, that is, and but it's not many of them, if we agree.
He's too
Like,
outspoken. Do South Africans think he's too outspoken? kind of sort of a little bit too outspoken, because I find Honorable Malema a
But
bit
even in
outspoken.
ANC, there are a lot of people who are outspoken, but most of them can. We already know that they can run a government. But with Julius and his friends,
But
we are not.
he has friends that have PhDs. Those guys speak really well. I like how
But it's
eloquent
not
they
many
are.
of them. But it's not many of them. You can easily count them on your hand. I mean, so
Yeah,
at least
but
in the ANC, there's plenty of people who have the capabilities of running the government.
people that have political experience, right? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
People that have,
Experience,
because
yeah.
you know that yes, it's not all about. I feel as though somebody running the government is not all about knowing one sector. You should be like, as much as you can, you should be smart. You should also be emotionally stable, like, uh,
Exactly.
you should
Exactly.
also be cool-headed sometimes, all these. You should also be
And being
cool-headed.
childish also.
Yeah, you should also be cool-headed sometimes, not quick to speak sometimes. That's what my personal take. I'm not trying to say anything about anybody, but I feel as though those are the attributes. You see all these presidents, the way when you ask them a question, they will first of all say they'll talk. That's how they all the so they
Yeah,
are not
yeah.
usually people, because they want to think very well before they speak. Let's see what
They
Collins says. He
do.
says Malema appeals more to black foreigners than black South Africans. We want African president whose interests are to South Africans first, just opportunistic fake pan-Africanism. What do you think about that, Tabo?
I don't think it's fake. I don't think it's fake. He really understands it to a point of maybe business. He's thinking about business, mostly SADC countries. I think he's thinking about it in that way when he says Africa must unite. Because honestly, in South Africa, we are too comfortable with whatever we have down here. We don't know what's really going on outside of South Africa.
That's what I can tell
Mm,
you for free. You're right. You're right. Mm.
yeah. And most of the people who have successful businesses in South Africa, they don't really venture out there. They're like comfortable with having whatever income they have here, whatever. Like we are too comfortable. So I think most South Africans, we don't understand the concept of growing outside of your own country, and we take it as if you are inviting other people. They don't think it's you gaining something outside of the country. They think it's you losing what you have because of outsiders. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
my take.
For because like Collins said, he says Malema, like that foreigners like him more. I don't know, more than South Africans. Do you think that's correct? Do you think
Maybe they
foreigners?
do because I mean he's tolerant of people. People like, I mean, you like to be understood. You don't know. He doesn't misunderstand people. I mean, foreigners. So as a foreigner, you want somebody who understands you, who understands that you didn't come here to take away, like to do bad. You understand?
I feel as though
I
it's
think
to his own detriment at this point, because I feel now South Africans misunderstand his intentions towards foreigners from what Collins is saying. If that's what most, I don't know if what he's saying applies to most South Africans, but if let's just say Collins is thinking like, if he's thinking like an average South African, that means Malema's what you're saying he's more tolerant. South Africans do not understand that part of him. Maybe they are seeing it like, okay, do you understand my point? They are seeing it like, okay, I don't know. Anyway, let's see what John is saying. He says Malema is a dictator. In South Africa, we want the government that will put us first. First, okay. Not someone who
but that
says
happens
we are
everywhere.
stupid. Eh?
I'm saying everybody wants a leader who's going to think about his people first everywhere.
Of
It's
course,
not just
of
South
course,
Africa.
of course, of
Yeah.
course. It's actually what a policy of the policy of every country. Just like I keep telling people, I don't fault South Africa now for saying, as I am right now, I studied HR.
Mm,
If a South African studied HR, they shouldn't give me the job before the person. Do you understand? It's actually what we
mm,
study in HR. You can't give in HR, you can't employ somebody before the local. The local must have employment, except there's no the phrase in HR is that except there's no other local that is qualified and applied,
yeah.
then you can say,
Yeah.
okay, oh,
But
you're not a FP.
mm, but on the other hand, you see, most people who think like that, like they're thinking of employment. They're not thinking about businesses. Because with me, I'm like, most
True.
people who are against foreigners, they're only thinking about employment. They're not thinking about somebody who's coming here to open up a business, somebody who's going to maybe hire 3 South Africans or 5,
True.
you see.
For
So in
me,
that way, I feel like we are generalizing what he's saying.
exactly. I feel as
Yeah.
though, for me, one thing I feel that South Africans the South Africa is, I don't blame a South African to be in their comfort zone, because if you don't know about other African countries, you wouldn't want to travel. You have everything you need here, so why
Or
would you?
even or even just be exposed to foreigners. A lot of South Africans, I hope my people don't get me wrong here. A
Yes,
lot of people that I grew up with, some have never even had a contact with a foreigner. A
exactly,
lot. So if you
exactly.
haven't been exposed, for me, luckily, I went to school where there were a lot of Nigerians who were teachers, a lot of Zambians. So I got exposed to professional foreigners. I was not exposed to foreigners when I was already old.
And
I got
you're not just
exposed at a
exposed to
young
the
age.
average foreigner in the streets. It's a different thing when you are exposed to no shades to any foreigner on the street, hustling foreigner. If you are get
Mm.
exposed to a foreigner on a professional level, you have a different mindset
That,
than
yeah,
when you get exposed to a foreigner that you're like, okay, what, on the street, basically. It's so maybe let me just say that maybe Malema has met some foreigners on. Of course, he's a high profile South African, so he should be meeting those
on a,
professors. Yes, those doctors, those
yeah,
specialists. Like me now, I
yeah,
just want to use myself as an instance. When people say I'm a foreigner, I'm like, okay, but some of us, we are actually have good intentions. Okay, someone like my husband, he hardly sleeps in this house. He's always on call. He's always helping. Patients.
mm,
You tell you how many patients he delivered their babies. You'll be like,
a
okay, but
lot,
so people look at these things from a different angle. So I
yeah,
may not want to blame Malema, as much as I may understand where an average South African is coming from, because it's coming
yeah,
from maybe a place of, okay, you should put us first. But he's also trying to probably accommodate, because he will say to himself, maybe if all, let's say, every foreigner leave now, the good ones will also leave, the professors will
yeah,
also leave,
yeah,
the doctors will also
yeah,
leave, and I feel as though it's an exposure thing. Let all of us be exposed and be informed, but as a South African should be put first before a foreigner, yes, but
yeah, yeah,
a foreigner is also an African. So that's the Pan-African part of Malema. So okay, let's just read more. Work with, oh, you always come. He says, for me, Julius is an emotional wreck. He is too angry. Running a country is not a joke. I agree. I agree with the part of running a country is not a joke.
and he's
Um,
also a flip flopper. If you can listen to his speeches from when he started the party, it's totally changed from what he's saying now.
okay.
So we like
Has
somebody who's
he has he
consistent.
has he elevated or like depleted? What would you say?
I think when he started, he was too extreme. Like he was he was like an angry person. I feel
Okay.
like right now he has calmed down and he's got a little bit of understanding that you don't need to
Tolerance.
be, yeah, you don't need to be so passionate about everything. I mean, some things you need to learn and understand them before you make your own opinions, because he used to just talk, recklessly and just like an angry man.
For me, I feel my own is I feel he's too young. Anyway, that's my part. He's a bit too
Yeah,
young. Yeah, I feel he if he grows more in politics, you understand. If
yeah,
politics is like a skill as well. Politics is a skill. You learn the skill of politics. It's just that let me make a joke. Let me give you guys a joke. When Peter Obi in Nigeria and Tinubu was they were contesting. Those were the main people that we were anticipating. Okay, one was going to win. Do you know what Tinubu, President Tinubu? He's now the president. His people were
yeah.
like, Obi is a boy. Obi is a boy. He doesn't have the skills,
And we have
and
that
it's
in Africa.
possible.
We
Yes, because
like saying that.
yes, I got to think. I'm like, oh, politics is actually a skill. It's like an apprenticeship.
Yeah,
It's like you just learn. You're learning from people up there, okay, and you're coming up and you're learning and you're looking up and you're coming up. I feel as though that's is a work in progress. That's probably where Honorable Malema is at the moment. He will probably get to the
yeah.
point where he can rule. I believe. He has
Maybe at
a good
60.
heart too. Eh? You say
Maybe
what?
at 60. Maybe at 60 or
We
55.
we don't want old presidents anymore in Africa. Maybe 50. Let's
But 60 nowadays is still
okay,
young.
yeah. True, true, true.
Yeah, imagine Jacob Zuma is 80 something.
And the guy looks strong. I was talking with my
You
husband.
see?
"Oh, he doesn't look 80 something. He looks good for an 80 something years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you're active and you have a lot of things in your mind and you're like you're trying also to
And
work
you are
on your
healthy.
you're
Yeah.
healthy. Yeah, if you're healthy, but we in Nigeria we try to kick out old presidents, but it's not working for us yet. I don't know if because the mindset of the average Nigerian was like, okay, let Peter Obi come in because he's younger, but they were like saying, Obi is still a boy, he must go and learn, and actually it happened. It happened that politics as with the game and the skills and everything, he didn't win. Although I wanted him to win, I'll just say, yeah, of course,
I
we all have
remember.
yeah, people want some people wanted him to win, not just because he's my tribe, but I feel not most of them are educated, but he has those. I feel he has the skills and all that, but they were like, he's still a boy, he must learn, and it happens that he's still learning. So let's read more comments.
Okay.
South African national understand Juju very well. He is a confused chap. He has flip flopped too much. What when South Africans use it a lot? What is flip flop? When you use flip flop, is it a
When
slang?
you are not like when your views are not really clear. This year you're saying this, next year you're saying that. Remember there was a time when he said he would kill for Zuma. But at some point he hated him with his whole blood. Like, so people like that, I mean, you are like, what is he gonna be like next year? You see?
Okay, when you feel when it's like a slang for saying somebody is not like you're not stable with what you want at the time, you can
Yeah.
change.
It's like
Oh,
we don't know what he really wants. That is why we are not certain with him.
oh, he will get there.
Yeah.
It's just like the way they are saying Obi will learn. I hope
Mm.
he will learn. Let's see who else said
Yeah.
something. Malema wants to be a modern Gaddafi and Nkrumah, and he must start at home first. Tabo, you're laughing. What is
Ah,
Thomas trying to say? What is Thomas
but
trying to
it's
say?
true. It's true. He's too
No,
radical.
Gaddafi was a tyrant. No, I don't think Malema is going to be a tyrant.
He could be because the things he say, oh my God. He's scary. I know he hasn't done bad things, but
No.
you judge a person by what they say. Some of the
Yeah,
things he
but
says, they are
I,
really
I feel
scary.
as though when somebody is passionate, the person can just be emotional. I feel as though sometimes you talk out of emotions, you have a lot of passion for maybe
Like you
Africa,
said,
for South Africa, for whatever cause you're trying to run. I feel as though it's about somebody being passionate, but I don't think Gaddafi is an extreme case. Muammar Gaddafi wasn't. He was a tyrant. South African, we can't deal with any tyrant president right now because it's going to be
Julius
too long.
that Julius is capable of that. If you really watch him, he is
You guys,
capable of that. I'm
let's get
telling you.
John in and see what he's saying. Hi, John.
Hi,
I think you
can
have
you
two
hear me?
devices on. Can you on
Can you
off
hear me?
one? Yes, I can hear you,
Yeah,
but
we
it's
can.
echoing. Can you off one of
Uh,
your devices?
Oh, okay, let me see here.
Do you
Um,
have two devices on? Okay, maybe he'll come in. Can you hear
yeah,
the echo? It was echoing. It was
yeah,
echoing a little. So John said we understand about all the business side of things. What we are saying is don't bring us people who are not going to help us with anything. Yeah, I agree. We want people who
yeah,
are here to add value. Correct. You're
yeah.
correct. If you're not correct, I will tell you for free that a country like Canada, if they want to harness Africans, they harness the best. You have to be you have to be you have to be educated. You have to maybe all these our ITs, because my brother is an IT specialist in Canada. He's way younger than me, 5 years younger than me. They will put a cap like you have to be 25 to so age. They want the best. They want people that will add value. They want people that are smart. They want career. If you're a doctor, you have to be. So you understand. So I agree with every country. It's not selfishness to want the best. If you have a
Yeah.
migrant, but yeah, I feel as though as much as we want the best, sometimes we will still get the not too good, not what we want, but it's about if a South African can put in place some system that will sieve out
Home
that will
affairs.
help.
The solution is home affairs. That's the only problem.
Home Affairs still has a long way to go. I can tell you for
Yeah,
free because
that's the only problem. The problem is home affairs. Otherwise, everything else, I mean, it could be done in the right way.
Home Affairs because I feel Home Affairs their system is slow. I don't know why it's slow, but anyways, maybe I don't know if they need to employ more hands to get things done because these things need. If things are going fast, where there's an anomaly. You understand? You're able to hold things. Okay, this guy, you're not doing it right. This is. But if things are not moving fast, people can just boycott the system like that. Some people are speaking because they are privileged. We cannot all be educated. And okay, Collins is saying some people are speaking because they are privileged. We cannot all be educated. And why should an ordinary poor, unskilled South African be competing with a foreigner, their country referenced? I understand your concerns, Collins. Honestly, I do understand your concerns, but those things are for the system okay, yeah, he's here now for the systems to know how to. Okay, you're still echoing. It's fine, John. Just let me
I
mute.
don't
You
No,
know,
let me
I
mute.
don't
mm,
understand. I don't
Sorry.
understand
John,
what's going on here.
No, it's fine. I'll just let me mute me and me in Tabu and
Now I can't hear you guys. Yeah, I hope that you can hear me. So what actually we are saying, it's not that we hate foreign nationals. We do love foreign nationals, but our issue here is one. Um, please, if you come into our country, we understand all the sufferings and everything, just like any other country in the world. Even in USA, there's people that are suffering, but the economy is not sufficient to carry everyone.
I agree.
That's our concern. We are saying, please, if you send people that have skill. There's foreign nationals every single corner of South Africa. We do have them. We are exposed to them everywhere you go. They are there. It's not only in urban areas. I'm from the rural areas. Even at home, there's people that are from outside, and no one is doing anything to them. But what we are asking now is, the more you have more people that are unskilled in the country, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous for the security of the particular country where people are flocking to, and they are not skilled. They will. What else are they going to do when they get there? That's the reason why the crime rates are so high in this country. We
Let
don't
So,
me
hate
interject.
anyone. Yeah.
The other thing that we also, the locals, there's an echo.
I'll
Yeah.
mute him, then you can talk. Then I will mute him.
Okay. The other thing that is a big problem, you know what happened back in the days? There were a lot of foreigners that came into South Africa that were not skilled, that were just laborers. What we, the local people, need to ask ourselves is, who do you live with in your house? Because these people, we live with them, okay, used to live with them in our own yards, in our own houses, for rentals, because rent is cheap in the township. I live in the township, by the way. Grew up in Soweto, but I can't say where I live now. But I still live in a township. So when you live with somebody that you know that this person doesn't have any kind of documentation, as a South African, happy to take their money, rent, that is, happy to take their money. You don't know where this person works. You don't know which country they come from. All you want is just money. Don't you think you are responsible also? Because that happens in the township a lot, and we are not talking about that. But because we get that money from rentals from these people that we don't even know where they come from, we are happy with the money, but we are going out there and crying and saying these foreigners are doing this, these foreigners are doing that. Meanwhile, it's the same guy that you live with in your own yard that you don't even know where he works or she works.
Okay, let me unmute John. Okay.
Yeah, what you're saying is true. That's very true. In That's the very same thing that I'm saying is, we have a lot of people that are here, like they are roaming around doing nothing, especially Alexander, Tembisa, Oliven, those townships, these three townships, and some parts of Mamelodi. Towards the end, when you go to Bronkhorstspruit, when you go there, there's a lot of people that are living there, undocumented. Like in one room, you can get 4 or 5 people staying there, and most of them are not working. They're just roaming around. At night, people are crying, we lost this, we lost that, and nothing is being done. Like you say, it's our responsibility as South Africans to report these things. But when you report these things already, the police know what's going on. They pay the police.
Hmm.
That's where some of the problems comes in as well. So we have to blame both us, and and our police system is also contributing towards this problem.
Okay.
So yeah, there's
Let
nothing we
me
can do. We are all we are all
so
Africans,
yeah.
and
For
we are
me,
not
what
saying.
I okay. Finish up. Finish up.
A thing is, we are not saying we don't want foreign nationals altogether. We are saying there's a need to control the borders and know who is coming in or out. And this African one thing, it's not gonna work at all. Because are you are you aware that most countries in Africa don't even know their population? They don't even know how many people they have. They don't do any stats, nothing. They don't know their nothing. People do go and get their documentation when they know I need to go to a particular country. Because in some countries, deep, deep, deep down, those people they don't even have IDs, nothing at all. And they are
Yeah.
busy going all around. And all of them are getting false hopes. When they hear people talking about South Africa, they're like, oh, okay, when I get there, it means I can be successful. But forgetting that the very same country where they feel there's nothing, there's also unskilled people when they get there.
Mm. We can't hear you, Oli.
So that's why if you watch this, okay, I want to interject. So that's he's still
Yeah,
talking.
you can carry on.
Oh, okay. So that's why if you watch my videos, I always talk about, I always explain the how South Africa is from a migrant point of view to people, because I know that a lot of, like you just said, if you're outside, you don't know what's happening inside. It's only somebody here that will tell you how things really work. If I always make videos, don't come to South Africa if you're not skilled. I will give you the reasons, and I'll give you the, if you can come, look at how, I don't tell you how to come, it's your call, but I tell you the opportunities that awaits you based on who you are, based on the skills you have, based on your educational qualification. I always tell people South Africa is a good country, it's a beautiful country, it's a country that the system still works. But when it comes to employment, because this thing you're talking about, people roaming around the streets and all that, it's because there are lack of employment for
Mm.
migrants. Some South Africans themselves are also struggling to get jobs, not a few people. So, but migrants do not have employment. If I always tell people, and some people will come to my comment section and say all sorts. I delete them anyways. That okay, you're here, you don't want people to come. But I'm like, I've stayed here for so many. I came here when I was very young, as a young, I've studied, I've been in the school system, I know who should be here and who should not be here. So now, John, I want to throw a question to you. What do you think should be done? How do you think this thing can be managed? Because
I
I
think,
believe in, okay, I
can I
believe in,
answer it first?
okay, yeah, you will say something. I believe in giving, not just saying something, giving a suggestion, because the internet world now, anybody can be watching, the government can be watching. Give suggest how you think these things can be curved. Me, I'm doing my part by, as a content creator, exposing people to, if you're not inside, this is how it works, this is the system, this is what awaits you if you come. This is my part. That's what I can do. I can't go by the borders and hold foreigners and say don't come. But I can use my voice, which I always do on this platform. And I know some of you appreciate me, and there are some people that appreciate it. But what do you suggest? Let me throw the question. So Tabo, go first, then John will
Okay.
take over. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, we live with these people. I'm not. I don't know if you have been to Soweto or
I've been to Soweto, yeah, but not,
you have.
you know,
Yeah.
visited.
Most people in Soweto, they don't live alone in those yards. Most people live with foreigners in those yards. All those foreigners that John is talking about, no shade, my brother. All those people that you see on the street, they live somewhere. Whether they live in town, in those flats, somebody owns that that house. Somebody owns those flats that those people are renting. We are the ones responsible. We have to know who lives where, because we know the government, takes long to solve these kind of things. We know the police are corrupt, but we have to do something first ourselves. Before you let somebody into the house, before you accept that rent, you need to know who you are bringing in your own yard. You need to know who's giving you money. You understand? This whole thing can trickle down to solving the bigger problems if we first take responsibility of who lives where and why. We have informal settlements that are full of foreigners. They didn't just go there and erect those shacks. Somebody gave them permission to do that, and that somebody is a local person. You understand? We need to take responsibility of things and not just look at the government and look at the police. Yes, we have to look at the government, but we already know that they're doing bad. Why don't we ourselves start by doing the right thing? Then the government will follow. That's my take.
Okay. I omitted it. John.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. For me, is first thing first. As African government, first, let's sort out the identification of our citizens all over Africa. Let's create one system that is gonna interact to all the countries. It's like even when they punch your documentation when you get into South Africa, they must know who are we letting in into our country. When I go to Nigeria, when I get there at the airport, they must know who are they letting into the country. Simple by letting our identification system like work hand in hand. Like everyone in Africa needs to be known. That's the only thing that we can start. That's the start.
So
And
you're
then
saying
you
using
know that, yeah, if
identification system.
yes, let's start there first before we can open the borders. Let's start there first. Let's document our citizens, and let's know if you are a thug or a thief, you are not allowed to go anywhere. You remain in your country. Simple as that. Because if they punch your identification in a particular, if I go to Kenya now and they punch my identification there and they see that I'm a thug, I'm not allowed to be there in that country there. I must remain in my country if I'm a thug. And if I'm a good person and I have a skill, I'm going to a particular country, I must apply while I'm here. When they advertise a post, I need to know while I'm still here, what am I going to do when I get there? I mustn't just go pack up and go and be a problem when I get to a particular country. We love one another. We are not saying that we don't hate anyone. If you can go now to anywhere in South Africa and ask people, why do you hate people? They will tell you that no, we don't hate anyone. We hate the illegality that is happening in our country. People are crying because of the high rate of crime. And this whole thing started just now. It's not so long ago. We've been living with people from outside for years. It doesn't start now. For years.
Okay.
Didn't
Let's
start
allow
today.
Queen.
And it has never been a problem.
Hello, Queen. African Queen. Can you say something? Can't unmute your guests because they are just to. Okay, okay. You're muted. You can unmute yourself because he's trying to tell me that I can't unmute you. Hello, African Queen. Just press on the unmute.
Hi, Olivia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for joining.
I'm great, thanks. What a challenging and sensitive topic that you decided to tackle today. Wow.
Fine. I mean, it's okay. We talk so long as we should have an opinion, but I mean it should come off respectfully. So it's not big. It's not a big deal. So long as
Exactly.
we are not here to insult or say bad things about anybody. So yeah, what is your take?
Now, there's nothing that can be built over insult. Believe you me, we can agree to disagree, to be diplomatic. It shows how we have growth and understand each other.
True.
But it
True.
doesn't mean that we understand each other ideologically. We can differ ideologically, but respect each other as human beings. Let's.
Exactly.
I just want to tap on the juju part.
Okay.
When you are a leader and you wear all these South African colors every time. Today you come out, you are yellow. Tomorrow you'll be black. Previously you were green, you were white. It's not gonna sit well. People have got this tendency of thinking that South Africans are ignorant. South Africans are not ignorant. The only thing is that they digest and consume all the nonsense. But when they are G4, nobody's gonna like it. Believe you me. When they act, they they act so badly in such an extent that nobody's gonna like it. Juju disrespected the nation of South Africa. Last time he even went to Nigeria, and then he still insulted the South Africans when they were here. And then when he get excited, it seems as if he doesn't think. So his thinking and his mouth doesn't correspond. So that's the problem. That's why he went so low. South Africans have spoken. They said, this is our 1994 and we want to make sure that they didn't say we're kicking ANC out, but they said we want them below 50 so that they can clear up their minds. They are egoistic way too much for us. What has happened? South Africans delivered. So same applies. You see, when it comes to the foreigners, and Tabo, I disagree with you when you say we don't know foreigners. You are lying. In my household where I grew up, we will grow up our parents telling us that, I used to think that I've got four uncles or three aunts, and all to find out those people were strangers because our grandparents were so human in such an extent that they will take a stranger that they don't know and stay with them. It's the same thing that is happening even right now. The only thing is that our African brothers and sisters, they think that for a mere fact that they will come here and say we are more educated, but others they can't even prove it. They've got fake documents, they've got fake surgeries, they've got fake educational certificate and all of that. The pudding, the proof is in the pudding. South Africans are not haters. The only thing is that other South African people, other African people, just want to gaslight South Africans. And I like my nation because it doesn't easily back down.
No, we must always use some, because when you're saying others, that means you're putting everybody in the box and you're putting me
No,
and that.
other,
So we must, yes, we must always
other,
use some, because these things, everything, no country has like all bad people and all good people. So like let's just be mindful of that. You can go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queen,
I
can
know
I
that.
answer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Tabo.
What I was saying is, I'm not saying we don't know these people. Like we know that they are our brothers and sisters. That is why we welcomed them into our homes. When I say you don't know who's in your house, I'm not saying you just brought in somebody. You allowed them to live with you because you trusted them. We are so trusting. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We are too welcoming, we are too trusting. Even, I was watching this YouTuber from Kenya. He was from I'm sorry to take this long. He was from Cape Town to Johannesburg. He sat next to a little girl. He started talking to her. He started buying the girl food. That's how we are. We trust strangers. This girl didn't even know whether this man was dangerous or whatever. That's what we do. We trust people based on just being a person. So this is why our parents lived with people that they didn't know, just because of trust. And then they found out later that some of these people have been lying when they said, I come from this country, I have a family here and there, this is what I do for a living. You only find out later in life that you have been living with a drug dealer in your own house. You understand? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying people don't know who they live with. I'm just saying people are happy to accept cash from an unknown source. That's what I was saying.
And you know what, Tabu? Are you aware that most of the foreigners, they don't live in people's backyard? They've got squatter camp. Who gave them the leeway to go and erect those squatter camp? It was
Yes.
Julius Malema. We all
That's what I
know
said.
that. So
That's what I
now
said.
we cannot play. Anyways, I don't mind foreigners being here, is as long you are here legally. What pisses me off or annoys me to the core, it's when the foreigners are doing the wrong thing, and then the people who get blames are the South Africans. Nobody looks how far have the South African been pushed to end up being called the xenophobic when the foreigners are doing their legality, and then they will come and say, oh, crime doesn't have any nation, but
Sorry,
xenophobic
Queen. Don't
does.
use.
Who
Sorry.
created
Excuse
that?
me. Sorry, Queen. There are some words that are being censored on YouTube. Don't use those. those words that you're mentioning now. If not, they will take this video down now. So
Oh,
just
well,
yeah,
oh,
use other
sorry. Oh, you
yeah.
guys are so restricted now because they
No,
see
it's
that.
it's the YouTube platform. It's not it's not my platform. It's the
Yes, that's what
platform.
I'm saying. That
Yeah,
YouTube is now restricting because
very
they
restrictive.
know that most of the truth, that's where it comes, rather than the propaganda and journalism that it's happening out
Yeah, they
there.
don't want strong words, all those kind of
Yeah,
anything. Mention it
yeah.
a few times, they'll just pull this video down now, and my channel may be in trouble. So I just want
On
to say that.
suspension, and that's how you make your coins. My
I don't
apology,
make much
Olivia.
coins. I don't make I don't make coins that will buy more than pizza for the kids. Just putting it out there. So it's just for passion, and I mean, yeah, really. YouTube doesn't pay much. Yeah, but go on.
No, what do you mean, Olivia? There are a lot of people who will tell you that they are
Not
making
yet.
coins from YouTube.
Not yet.
Don't-
You need to be big. You need to be big on YouTube before you can make money. Some months you may just get 1,000, or just something that's not much. So just yeah, not
oh,
some.
you know, when I started seeing the YouTube thingy behind you, and I was like, oh, you have now joined the bandwagon of the rich people.
The pay for YouTube is nothing. Is nothing really.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, people
let's
have
not
different
divert
motivation. Yeah.
and focus on the topic
Yeah.
that we are on about here. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of wrongs that are done by people who are not South Africans, but that it's just handled with with sensitive care. But when South Africans start, because there's no child that can cry, Olivia, if the child doesn't feel any pain, if the child is not hurt,
Of
instead
course,
of
of course,
asking the child what
of
is
course.
the problem, and then they ignore the child and go to the person who caused the pain to the child and ask the person what's wrong. Do you think the parent that is abusing that child will be like, oh no, I have done this, I have done this? No, they are all squeaky clean. And once they are caught, and then they will be like, oh no, but you can't say that. This doesn't have, you can't label foreigners like this. But truly speaking, I, for one, am even scared to drive after 8 o'clock. Who does the spiking of the roads? Is it South Africans? No,
Well,
we never knew.
what do you think can be done? Because when you say something, give a suggestion, a possible
Every
solution,
problem
because I
needs a
want to get to
solution.
it. Sorry?
Every problem needs a solution.
Yeah, that's what
First
I'm
of
saying.
all, they need to establish who are these people that are not even employed who are here in South Africa. We do have professionals, as some of us have managed to go outside of South Africa to use our skills and our expertise, and we came back home. I don't know whether South Africans are so patriotic more than the other African countries, in such an extent that if we go out, we remember where home is. We are not the kind of people that will say wherever we lay our head, it's our home. No, we know our addresses, we know our home. What the government needs to do, or the authorities in charge, they need to establish these unknown people that are committing this heinous crime, but it's affecting the nation. Once they have done that, because believe you me, there is nobody who has got who will call himself an intellectual who will leave his country and go to a country and see that it's not working, instead of going back and sit down and start and thinking of doing crime. That it's unfair. So the government and the authorities in charge, they need to nip it in the bud. Because believe you me, if that doesn't happen, I know South Africans, I'm one of them, something is gonna happen and nobody's gonna like it. Since
Okay,
we are
so
busy,
let's give other people the opportunity to speak. John, do you have anything to say as regards to that? Because I want to get my kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yes, thanks once again. Tabo earlier on said that we South Africans we are not into business and whatever. No, that's not true.
Didn't
That's
say
not true.
that.
That's totally not
I
true.
did not say
Okay,
that.
Okay, I want to say something about this business thing. Look, if you go to all southern Africans, even in some parts of the East Africa, if you check how many businesses are from South Africa, how many banks that are from South Africa, isn't it how we are trying to help the African countries go their
There are a
country
lot of
their
African.
economies?
Let me interject. There are a lot of South African businesses in Nigeria, like MTN,
Yeah,
DSTV, Shoprite, Checkers, a few of them. Yeah.
Our government I remember earlier in the early 2000 when they started seeing that this problem was getting out of hand of people coming to South Africa, and then when we started complaining, then they say to us, okay, the best option is to take what we have here, go and teach other Africans on how to do these things that they want to see, they are seeing in South Africa. Let's take these things to their countries. Maybe that might help and block them from coming here, create jobs where they are. But it seems like it's not working. It's like they want to come here. And it's like, that's why I'm saying now it's wrong to say South Africans are not into business and whatever. No,
She
that's not
didn't
true.
say
We
that.
are into
I
business.
didn't say
We are
that. Please, guys.
we are seriously into,
How what?
and it didn't start today. It started
How
long
what?
time ago.
How
It
what?
started long time.
What
How
did you
what?
say, Tabo? Sorry, let's allow Tabo.
What?
Let's.
What I said. What I said is when Julius says people need to come to South Africa, the interpretation of us as South Africans is people who are coming for employment, not people who are coming to create business. And when I talk about foreigners, I want us to not only think about black people, guys. It's not only why white people who are creating jobs in South Africa. We know there are a lot of black foreigners who are also creating jobs in South Africa. It's just that they are not being highlighted. What I said was we only think about those who are coming here for employment, and that is what we need to stop thinking about. Yes, there are a lot of people who are coming here for employment, but we must also not cut out those ones that are coming to create employment for South Africans, because we
She
know
said.
if somebody comes, yes, if somebody comes here to open up a business on a business visa, they have to employ a South African. That is a must. That's what I was saying, that people not shouldn't be generalized when they are just foreigners, that they only come here for employment. No, even for us, when I said South Africans being able to venture out there, I was saying if a South African has um, enough businesses in South Africa, most of them are satisfied. I said most of them, they are satisfied with only having businesses in their country. That's what I said. I
Yes,
said,
that was
if
good.
yes, that's what I said. I said most of them are only satisfied with making
That's
income
where
in
we are
South
talking about
Africa.
going
Yes,
out, traveling more,
going
and
out to get
yes,
income outside of South
outside
Africa.
of
That is
what
what Julius is trying to say.
that's what you said. Okay, on that note, I have to go and get my kids before they find me in school.
Yes, thank you
Um,
so much.
Thank you so much, guys. I just want to say it's all good. Maybe we'll do these lives once in a while, every now and then, and people will come and say what they say. So long as we are all respectful to each other and you air don't be too sensitive when you're saying these things, because we are not the government. We are just trying to, because if when you're too sensitive, the video will be pulled down and the child can even we don't want that. So we just say
Yeah.
our mind, let whatever we say go out there, and hopefully we'll get a solution to whatever. But thank you so much, everyone. I have to run now because I already got a call to go and
Okay,
take it.
thanks,
Thank you,
Olivia.
everyone. Thank you,
Bye,
African
Abby.
Club. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.